Good morning. We're back with the cult classic that is Deadly Premonition on the Switch. This is not the sequel. This is the original remade, or excuse me, re-released. I don't think it was even remastered when you look at it. It very much looks like a PlayStation 3 game from 2010. It plays like a game from 2010, but it is so brilliant. It is so stupid, so strange. I played about an hour of it last night, and so far I'm absolutely in love with it. It has its issues. Like the aiming is very much in the Resident Evil 4 vein, where you can't move. It's got a slightly weird camera angle. That part of it I don't love, but everything else about it I'm enjoying. So let's just go ahead and get in. Here we have the legend, FBI agent Francis York Morgan. You can call him York, everyone does. We're outside the police station, standing in the middle of the road. Let's go ahead and head on in. As I said, you can very much see that it's a PlayStation 3 game. They did very little in the way of like remastering it. It just is what it is. What is this? Can we climb up? I can look in the window? That's creepy. That's very creepy. Okay. Interesting. I apologize if you're going to hear the game audio. I have to have it turned up. Let's peek in here, I guess. I like how it has to load. It literally has to load what you're peeking in at. Some sort of item in there. I think it's ridiculous that there's hunger and sleep in this game. This is technically a survival horror game. Can I get down? Alright, thank you. Come back here and get my agent honor. Let's go in the front door. That seems to be where it wants us to go. York is an asshole, and he's strange, but he's funny.
That's one fine building for such a small town.
He's very anti-small town. He thought he was going to caveman society. He calls the sheriff King George. He does this when he's thinking, taps his chest. It's weird. It's a weird dude. Whew, that walk.
Pleasure to meet you, Agent Morgan. We've been expecting you.
I'm Thomas McLean, the sheriff's assistant.
I love when it does that. That the character says their name and then they put it up on the
Special
screen.
Agent Francis York Morgan.
You please call me York.
Please just
Everyone
call me
does.
York. It's what everyone else calls me.
Very well then, Agent York.
I believe I owe you a thank you for retrieving my belongings from my car. Thanks. No, just doing my job. I want to help do everything I can to help the investigation.
We're here to investigate a murder.
I just can't
Like a
believe Anna was
ritualistic
murdered.
Sacrifice kind of
She
murder.
was such a bright and lovely girl.
Did you know her well?
Well, no, not really. But it's a very small town. I'm sorry. It's just that this is the first really big case I've ever seen.
I understand. Just try to relax. Can I have a look at Anna's file now?
Yes, of course. The sheriff told me to let you through to the meeting room, but I've lost the key to the cabinet where the files are. Why don't you take a look around while I go look for it?
Okay. Let me know when things are ready.
Zach, Thomas appears to be the kind and sensitive type, totally at odds with the monarch. Almost a good setting for a cartoon.
See, he calls the sheriff King George, so... Office room... men's room... Yeah, this person has nothing to do with the investigation. F this guy in particular, I guess, right? Material room. Yeah, they have nothing to do with it. You're right. Come on down to the basement. I love the door open animation. He's like, he looks in before he walks in. Very natural way to enter a room. I can sleep in here. Ooh, there we go. Take item. Curvy-tailed flying squirrel keys. Okay, so that's how we're gonna, that is how we're going to classify the keys in this game. They're gonna be, instead of like card suits, they're gonna be different types of squirrel. Fantastic. Ah, shooting range. Another, see, yep. Squirrel keys is how this game operates. This game is fantastic. I don't care what you think. This game is phenomenal. What do we have here?
You found the key.
Hey, good guess.
That's the right one?
Yes, a southern flying squirrel. Thank you so much. I'll bring the files right in, so please go to the meeting room.
That's smile.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
He's like,
Well, Zach, we just got here and we've cracked a big case already.
I love the... What do you think about that, Zach?
The victim's name was Anna Graham. Age
Anagram.
18, she just recently
Anagram,
graduated
really?
from high school this year. Her dream was to move out to the city and become a model. But for the time being, she was working in the A&G diner here in town. She lived with her mother, Sally. Anna's father died in an accident in the lumber mill when she was a child. Her mother is unemployed and lives on the insurance money from her husband's accident. After all, it's a small town with a low cost of living. Financially, they seem to get by fine, and they led normal lives.
A normal life is exactly what a curious teenager doesn't want. It's all starting to make sense, Zach.
It's all making sense, Zach. All of it.
City folk, huh? No, I take that back. All of them can't be as bad as him. And some should have better manners.
Huh. This is a good biscuit. I've never tasted a biscuit this delicious.
Because the whistle
Where in
tune.
town can I get these?
Oh, actually, I baked them myself.
That's amazing. What are you doing in law enforcement? I'm very particular about biscuits, I'll have you know. The balance of milk and butter you've achieved here. Oh, my.
I'm
Agent
very
Morgan,
particular about biscuits.
the autopsy's ready. You are welcome to accompany me to the Greenvale General Hospital. Emily, you come too. Thomas, stay here and tidy up these files.
Yes, sir.
We're going to use the car outside. Let's get going. You might think this is just a small-town police investigation, but our inspections are thorough and solid. I'm hoping you won't slow us down.
He's gonna ask about. I thought he was gonna ask about the biscuit. Have you tried these biscuits? Like that it tells you how many times you've died and continued. I don't even know what basic wage unpaid salary means. It's a weird sentence. Every time I see the words Green Vale, I think of Green Dale from Community. And I like that crossover a whole lot.
The Greenvale General Hospital is down the road by the lake. It's too far to walk. Come on, get in the car.
If I'm riding in a car, George, I prefer to be the driver. Can you provide a car for me?
What are you talking about? You don't even know how to get there.
Which is another good reason for me to drive, George. I need to learn my way around town.
Oh, man. Very well. Then I'll ride with you. I want to keep an eye on you.
Fair enough.
That
Just one
That
thing,
tune.
Agent Morgan. Your involvement in this case is limited. That means you don't have to learn your way around town.
George, we'd better get moving. The hospital closes at 2100.
I want the SUV. Can't eat at the sheriff's station?
Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George, what are you, his mother?
We just need to get the autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack.
Is it raining all of a sudden?
Well then, Agent York, let's get going.
Sure, sounds good.
It is raining. So, I like the outside view better. The cars in this game control terribly. The hospital.
Morgan, I can't help noticing you prefer to work alone.
Most of the time, yes.
Don't you get lonely, flying all over the country alone?
I must say I've never felt lonely.
Are you married?
Unfortunately, relationships and I are fleeting strangers. I don't get on very well with women. You might be surprised to hear.
That's because you're young. You notice things like that at my age. You have to treat women carefully, like a thin crystal wine glass.
Really?
If you don't, they can cut scars on your face, just like yours, right?
George, is this an interrogation? I see you're a seasoned professional. But let's not talk about my scar. It was caused by a problematic woman.
Well, she got you good. Terribly good.
It'll fade away, and nobody will notice it in a week.
A week? It's not that light of a wound.
So, Emily, tell me,
Grab it this way.
is there really a need for a full-time sheriff in a small town?
I'm sure it is small to your city eyes, but any gathering of people leads to all kinds of problems. Fights, runaways.
Hold on. We gotta figure out where we're going. There's the hotel. Can we fish in this game? It's a very Japanese thing. Alright, we'll just keep going the way we're going. And eventually we'll find the road again, I guess. I hope. This controls so terribly. Like the car just literally doesn't want to stay in a straight line. Alright, that's not the road we want. That's where we came into town at. Such finicky controls. Ah. There we go. Just the slightest touch of the stick and it sends you out of control. Vid games is what the license plate says, I just noticed.
Well, we're in the middle of a homicide investigation. Keep your mind on the matter at hand.
He's right, Agent York. You still don't know your way around. Concentrate on driving us to the hospital.
Exactly what I did. Drove us to the hospital. And we made it. In one piece. Car's a little dinged up, but we got there. I love when subtitles tell you exactly what you can read on
It's
the
a pretty big
card.
hospital. Guess they wanted to be ready for town-wide food poisoning.
No. It's another leftover from
Audio
town's
balance
prosperous
is so
slumber
good.
days. Hard to imagine now, though, isn't it?
My mother always talked about how energetic this town used to be. Almost like a gold rush, she used to say.
The music's so overshadows what people are saying.
But the hotter the fever, the faster it cools. And so now there's hardly anyone left to keep this place.
Pains me to watch my hometown lose so many citizens. Beyond your understanding, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sorry to say that it is.
And that's why this case is our problem. There really isn't any need for you to get too involved.
I love that he's wearing a poncho that doesn't cover his arms. Like, what's the point? So, I've never seen a biscuit with a divot in the middle of it.
Hello, Sheriff.
Freckly Fiona, really?
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. You know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
A computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
What?
How did you know I was FBI?
It's just the
Easy.
tune that they whistle.
None
in
of the
game.
police in this town wear cologne.
very
Besides,
Andy
that
Griffith
scar on
ass
your
too.
face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside.
No, it's not. No.
What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
This game is so
You haven't
Twin
heard of
Peaks,
this
it
yet?
out Twin Peaks Twin
It's
Peaks.
a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime. The murder of a local girl.
And that incident causes grief and sadness to
Sounds
everyone in town. But everyone feels the seditious, heinous evil still lurking, alive. Yes, much like the situation right now here in Greenville.
Fiona, don't say that.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain. It's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime committed in a real world. Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
What's he gonna observe? He's kind of condescending. The song is a total earworm. It just gets in there. This way? Ah, there it is. I like that this hospital has a single computer that everyone shares.
We couldn't find him.
Fiona needs to check her information.
No, I don't think so. Does the doctor like playing games by any chance?
What do you mean?
There's a message on the computer, and a card key already set in place. The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. The knight takes a pawn along for the queen.
What does that all mean?
It's a simple puzzle.
Zach, let's take him up on his challenge. You can do this, right?
King passes rook, meets bishop, knight, pawn. That was easy. You just had to know what the chess pieces were. Ah, that smile.
The doctor awaits below with the deceased.
Another code? But there's nowhere to insert a password.
More games. I'm going to get Fiona to call Usha up here right
I like
now.
that the exclamation points are
No need, George.
slanted.
The message appeared with the card key. It's telling us where to use it.
This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it.
In the morgue.
Simple. Then it's time to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
Nah.
Alright. So we need to go downstairs. I'm so glad I picked this game up, honey. It's so ridiculous. Our favorite cartoons are running. I got money for checking the weather. That fire exit sign being down on the floor is kind of dumb. And behind a chair. I'm sure that's not up to code. Dead house? Is that I don't think that's what they would call it. I found stairs. He either goes through doors super cautiously or he just slams through them. One of the two, like either or, no middle ground. Found the dead house. Found the dock. Why is it locked? Oh, I gotta come at it from this way. It's gonna cost you $1 to report in and save.
Usha, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you made it. Let's get started, shall we?
What are you cooking?
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usha Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Very well, Agent York.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
That battle of wits, by the way. Did you create that yourself?
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see if our FBI agent could handle the task.
I see. Well, it was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
Sheriff's getting mad. King George getting angry.
We don't have much time. We need those autopsy results.
I like,
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to take place. Note that there are 2 exterior wounds, pressure marks around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand.
Yeah, I have a right hand too.
Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed. Now, I first thought death by suffocation, due to the marks on her neck. But after further investigation, I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
Yeah, being cut open stem to stern will do that to you.
Which means...
She was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her. Her nails are clean, and with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten. She was apparently killed without resistance.
Interesting.
The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
That was oddly poetic, Doc.
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
Well, I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness, and then the killer killed her. Now, the killer most likely has a deep, traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them normally. Cutting out the tongue suggests a very lonely individual. Either that, or a truly hardcore sadist. He must get off on watching women suffer, especially when they can't answer back. He watched as the blood pumped from her body, as she gradually grew cold. A case in Seattle in 1985 was much like...
Usha, please, limit your report to your findings as a
Yeah.
doctor. Criminal profiling is my job.
I say he made a lot of assumptions. But
You're wrong, also. Anna died fully, deeply, painfully aware of what was happening to her.
But,
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
York also made some
just
assumptions.
before I went to bed, right after the movie on TV ended, so around 1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981. So the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon.
That doesn't mean
George,
anything,
would you
York.
mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I'm sure I mentioned that I have a personal interest in cases like these.
I like Emily. chocolate chip cookies. Quite the transition, game. Quite the transition.
From her lack of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
Zach, it's all starting to come together.
The perpetrator stayed with her for at least
How do you
2
know
hours
that?
until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining. But you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
Asha, are you a passionate man?
Well,
Not
particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
I'm very passionate. Yes. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator, is just like you. He's passionate about women. He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
The perpetrator bit off Anna's tongue.
God, terrible.
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Yeah, oh.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
What in the hell do you mean, Agent Morgan? I know I said I was passionate, but you can't think I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something.
What are the red seeds? He just had all those on him.
There you go. Amazing, huh? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just give me a moment.
Very well. I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here. Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
Huh? The doc looks stunned.
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.
That old computer chess game. Uh-oh. We're gonna do some of the combat stuff now. Hospital got weird. York seems unperturbed.
Zach, they're here.
Let's go ahead and save before we get into the weird combat stuff. Cost me $1 to save. It's so ridiculous. Okay. Can I shoot my way through it? Or do I gotta shoot the vines? What do I gotta do here? So absurd.
Amazing.
You go ahead and just go ahead and die now.
Nice shot.
Really hate the Resident Evil 4 style combat. Otherwise, though, I love this. Up.
Great. Bullseye.
Reload.
Great.
I wish they'd fall immediately. It's a little irritating that they stay on their feet for so long.
Amazing. Great.
I just love how non-bothered by all this he is. He's just like, yeah, there's tentacles hanging out of the wall now.
Nice shot. Bullseye.
Oh, did you pop back out of the floor again?
Yes. Amazing.
I get you? I think I got you. Oh, they attack. I just don't give them a chance to. If they get in close enough, they certainly do.
Amazing. Great.
I just don't see the point in letting him get that close. If I can hit him from a distance, I'm absolutely gonna do it. What is this? The moaning is the nurses, the zombies, the shadows, whatever they're called. Oh, cool. Up.
Yes.
Ah. You drop. Go. Bad camera angle to jump into. At least there was nothing waiting for me in the hallway. I can save. Seems prudent to do so. What is this? Sure. Is there a reason for this other than just stylistically? Yeah, you're right, Sky High. Black coffee is good coffee. Had my fill of it this morning already. Reload. This game is so strange. Is this where I'm going? I don't think so, but gotta check. Wrong button. Yeah, okay. That makes sense if that door would be locked. Go this way.
Amazing.
I love that it gives me money for killing them.
Amazing. Yes.
You didn't go down. Where are you, lady? You behind the pillar still? Yep, there you are.
Bullseye.
They call it a bullseye. Missed. I really hate this Resident Evil 4 style aim
Yes.
nonsense. Stop pushing. Okay. Slow motion red dress lady.
Here! Over here!
If they were truly going for the Twin Peaks vibe, she should have said that backwards. Here, over here should have came out in reverse. Go away. Stop it. Like I got a gun. Like I had a gun for a second. Close enough for me to hit you. Gotcha.
Yes.
Hey, cool. Connor just floating around? What do we have here? Some crates. Can I break them? Anything in them? Okay, so we can fish in this game. It's a very Japanese game. Whoa! Thank you for not attacking me while I was doing shooting crates. I appreciate that. MRI, huh? Save wherever there's an opportunity. You don't want to replay things unnecessarily. That's it? Ah, there's more in here. Key card in the MRI machine. That's a terrible idea. Seeing how it's a magnetic resonance machine, probably going to destroy the strip on the card. I love that he has a light that emanates from his shirt pocket area, but there's no actual flashlight there. Of course. There's gonna be monsters to kill. Oh, he's got a gun. Is it a shotgun? It's a shotgun. I can I like that. Just, I think this guy on my right is probably the one I need to go for first.
Bullseye.
Get out of my way, dude. Alright, now you.
Great. Amazing.
Now if I can get you before you shoot.
Bullseye. Great.
Make sure that I'm here. Nice of him to drop shotgun shells. That means obviously I'm going to get a better gun at some point. That certainly verifies that. You could totally drop a shotgun at some point, guys. I'd be okay with that. I understand this game has a hell of a difficulty spike a little bit at various points, so. Cool, we can get root beer. Although root beer typically has caffeine in it. Oh,
Agent Morgan, if you're so desperate, then why not smoke two at once?
I want to know what they see while he's off in weird little demon land. Lord, that man looks terrible.
Who's that old man?
That's Harry. Harry Stewart. One of the bigger problems around here. His father started up the lumber trade and founded this town. He's a weird one, as I'm sure you can see. Always dressed like that, never speaking to the townsfolk.
Why is his
Just
gas mask
FYI,
look like a
he owns almost the
demon
entire
face?
town. Not that that makes any difference. So long as I'm around, he won't be getting away with any funny business.
Mysterious capitalist. Oh, what's in his neck? Warts, I guess? For, like, cancer treatment?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, haste won't lead you to what you seek. Keep your eyes focused on your footing as we speak. So says Mr. Stewart.
Nice to meet you, too. How did you know my name?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, information desires you, just as you desire information too. So says Mr. Stewart.
Harry, stop trying to get in our way. Keep this up, and even you'll have to answer to the law.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, with each rain our town goes mad. To our disdain, unpreventable. So sad. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning.
Rhyme?
Then we shall depart, Mr. Francis York Morgan.
That's how he always is. Always spouting that nonsense. Don't give it any thought. It's all gibberish.
Emily here. Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Agent York, we've contacted the first witnesses to the crime scene. You can interview them where they found the dead body.
Excellent. I was just about to ask if you could take me there.
Weird. Oh, good lord. That's phenomenal. The thumbs up like that with the wrist twisted in an unnatural. I can't even bend my wrist the way he did because it's not natural to do it that way. Vid games.
The body was found in the Greenvale Forest Park. That's west from here, and too far to walk.
A forest park?
It's the pride of the town. It has a beautiful trail leading to a viewing site over Velvet Falls.
That does sound fantastic. Show me the sights.
I
That
love
may
that
have to
whistling
wait.
tune, man.
We promised to be there by 1800 to interview the first witnesses to the crime scene.
All right, get in the car. Fine.
Agent Morgan, If I could just give you a friendly warning.
Are you really upset about me taking over the case? I have the authority approved by the FBI to assume command. I understand you don't like it, but you will follow my orders.
I'm not disputing FBI authority, but this is our town. You won't get far alone, and you gain nothing by antagonizing me.
It's part of my personality. I just do things my way. I can take you off the case if you wish.
Stop it, you two. We need to solve this case, not
It's
bicker
part of
among
my
ourselves.
personality to be antagonistic. Oh man, York. All right, so we gotta figure out where are we going? Come down out of the mountains. Where's the boneyard? Man, we got a ways to go. Windy path, so take the windy road. Tunnel to drive through. Bridge. Man, we got a way to go. So we come out of the hospital. Can we take this? Where's this go? Take a left at the phone. Or can we just drive straight? Oh, cool. Okay. Alright, we drive past whatever this is. Claim that you gotta hold a button down to do that, but... The driving in this game's so terrible. Oh man. I see why they replaced it with skateboarding in the sequel. I just go back up into the parking lot? I did. But we got a sick jump out of it.
Anna's body was discovered by the woodsman Jim Green, along with his 2 grandchildren, Isaac and Isaiah.
What were they doing in the forest?
Just their daily routine. They found Anna's body during a morning walk.
So you've talked to them already?
Not officially. Not yet.
Not yet? Are you out of your mind? You haven't interviewed them yet?
Agent York, that tone is hardly appropriate. We were given orders to wait for you to arrive.
Orders by who?
A man called Abrams from the FBI.
Robert, is it? Good old Bob Abrams. I did tell him to stay out of it.
It's always tough to have a meddling boss, huh, Zach?
I thought you knew, Agent Morgan. Don't worry about it. We may not have taken official statements,
that
but
when
we got
we
all
hit
the
the
information we need. I
sirens,
can fill you
we
in
get
right
little
now if you'd
speeches.
like.
Thanks, George, but that won't be necessary. I want to hear the details from the witnesses themselves, firsthand.
I just can't believe that the children had to witness the crime scene. They may be traumatized. You'd better do this carefully.
Don't tell me you get nervous talking to children, Emily.
Not at all. That's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean?
Just forget it.
I wish I had played this in 2010 when it came out. This would have been cutting edge, amazing stuff. I know at least 2 video games journalists that call this their favorite game of all time. Know of, not know them personally. This driving is so terrible. There's the bridge. Okay, it's past this, I think. I love that the license plate is big games. This is... Buffalo Road is what this is called.
Agent Morgan, how much longer do you want to keep talking? Maybe we should cut the chit-chat and go get our official statements.
George is right. Let's head over to the forest park.
Alright. We're gonna run out of gas before we get there? Good lord. Wrong button. It's so easy to hit the home button when I want to hit pause. Buttons are just a little too close together here for my big old mitt. Alright, where are we heading? So we want to take a right on January Way, I guess. Back. No, we just want to go straight through town and then take a right on the other side of town. And then we'll have to come back and get these cards later. Frame rate's a little rough in this game, but it's not near as bad as the new one. The new one runs super rough. This town is entirely too big. Taft and Servant Streets. The windy road out.
Agent Morgan, how much longer do you want to keep talking? Maybe we should cut the chit-chat and go get our official statements.
George is right. Let's head over to the
I like
forest
talking
park.
about it. York's fascinating. The weirdo. Enough gas to get back to town? Good lord. I almost feel like the combat in this game was added as an afterthought. Like, here's the story we want to tell, but they won't let us put it out if we don't have video gamey aspects to it, so here it is. Here's what we came up with. These weird backwards walking shadow zombies. Way up in the mountains. I'm not even sure where this game takes place. Like, obviously Greenvale, but like Pennsylvania, Seattle, you know, which part of the country is it in?
Is this government land?
No, it's private, owned by Harry.
This whole area?
That's right. I'm sure I mentioned that he owns pretty much the whole town.
He used the money left by his father to buy up most of the town. Many town residents live on his land.
Zach, did you hear that? This entire park. A rich man's personal playground.
That's not what they
These
said.
country rich folk are amazing. It all looks very well kept, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. It's what everyone calls me.
And you are Jim Green?
With his
That
badge.
I am, son. I keep these woods.
Jim Green.
Well, you're doing a fine job.
Well, I used to be a tree surgeon.
And these two discovered the body.
Yes, my grandchildren, Isaac and Isaiah.
That's a creepy smile.
Zach, you see that? Twins. Just like in my dream. We gotta keep an eye on these two.
I'm sorry. Could we talk away from the boys? I want to help your investigation, but I don't want them to hear this.
Very well. Emily, please.
I'll just take them over there then.
Thank you.
Hold on. Don't do anything without asking me. These children were the first to witness the crime scene. I want to talk to them.
Come on, they're just kids. They have no idea what really happened to Anna.
That doesn't matter. You agree with me, right, Zach?
How heartless. Do you ever think of other people's feelings, ever?
Emily's right. That's stone cold, even for the sake of investigation.
Children see things in pure, simple terms. They may have seen something we adults would never spot, and they are here at our request as well. We could at least chat with them and see if they want to make a statement.
Are you serious?
I never joke about matters like this.
Oh my god.
Endearing yourself to the townsfolk.
They aren't as fragile as you think.
York.
Look at them, standing so upright there.
Do you have to dress them in the same shirt? I mean, I get they're twins.
Now then, Isaac, Isaiah, tell me, what did you find here?
Anna, she was so pretty. She had a red dress on. Her hair was shining. Bright gold hair. There were lots of animals around her. Squirrel, weasel, and a snake. A real snake. We didn't know until then. But we know now. Anna was the fairy of the forest. She was a goddess. She smiled when she saw us. She looked so happy.
That's right, Isaac. Isaiah. She was a fairy. A goddess. I'm sure she is playing with those animals even now.
Of course she is. Yeah, of course.
Most useful information, boys. Well, Emily, you can take them now.
Okay, Zach. This is where Anna's body was.
Look at that skybox.
And that means
above
our
us.
unsub, our unknown subject, was here too.
So, what happened here?
Does his lighter have a no smoking symbol on it? I think it did.
Anna. Ow! Crap! Jeez! I hate this. Why did it come to this?
No smoke.
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
I agree, Morgan. York. Francis. Let's see. What's George got to say about this?
As you requested, we have permission to stay and look around as needed. But what are you planning on doing?
To examine the scene, of course. Basic Crime Investigation 101. We might uncover some further evidence.
My men have covered
Thought
this
you were
already.
professional, man.
I seriously doubt that there's anything else to find.
Well, then you and Emily can wait in the car if that's the case. But I'll take my time.
Hang out. Glowy-eyed Axeman is our murderer, obviously.
Oh no. Ow! Crap! Jeez! I hate this. Why did it come to this? Oh no. Ow! Crap! Jeez! I hate this. Why did it come to this?
Back into the stuff. Okay. So what am I missing around the tree then? Ah, here we are. Bird nest, okay. How do I observe it? Game, you screwing with me at this point? Because it feels like it. Nap for a minute, I guess. Now I'm very hungry. Wrong button again. Good lord. You stuffed your face. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. This is frustrating. Like, is there a specific spot I need to stay? Get him to register that there's a thing there. Also has a thing. You need like a detective vision to be like, this is what you're missing. Game said no, can't go that way. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break. And then pee. All the liquid I've drank passed right through me. And then we'll be back with more. I just noticed the deer's head's moving. We're going to figure out what we need to do before we come back, and that way we don't waste any more time. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to PolyNerdic on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord. We have a subreddit. We have the live streams on Twitch, like you're watching, and the archived stuff on YouTube, along with other things. PolyNerdic.com, where everything goes up, including a weekly podcast every Saturday morning. Patreon and Coffee if you're into financial support as well. So I'll be right back with more of Deadly Premonition.